Namaskar, welcome you again to Sporting Angels Educational Spectrum. In the previous video, we talked about French Revolution and the idea of the nation in France. And as soon as it was achieved, then the revolutionaries further declared that it was their mission and the destiny of France to get other people of the Europe liberated. We also talked about the Jacobin clubs, the revolutionaries preparing way for their armies to get into the neighboring countries and get the revolution going in those countries also. Their activities and campaigns prepared the way for the French armies which moved into Holland, Belgium, Switzerland and much of Italy in 1790s. Here you can see the French armies occupying a town. It has been shown by a German painter called Caspar Frisch. The French soldiers can be recognized by their blue and white and red uniforms, and they have been portrayed as the oppressors as they seize the peasants. You can see them, peasant's cart. Peasant's cart can be seen in the picture. So this is how the picture changed. Really, the French armies were welcomed wherever they moved in, but later on people came to know that their liberty was being seized and nobody wants to see all those things, all those better things which the middle class wanted and which Napoleon brought them. They were all at the cost of freedom. These things we discussed in the previous video also. Today we shall be discussing the making of nationalism in Europe. When you look at the map of mid 18th century, you will find that there were no nation states as we know them today. We know today as Germany, Italy and Switzerland were divided into kingdoms, duchies and cantons, whose rulers had their autonomous territories. Eastern and Central Europe were under autocratic monarchies within the territories of which lived diverse people. They did not see themselves as sharing a collective identity or a common culture. Often even spoke different languages and belonged to different ethnic groups. The Habsburg Empire that ruled over Austria-Hungary, for example, was a patchwork of many different regions and peoples. It included the Alpine regions, the Tyrol, Austria, and the Sudetenland, as well as Bohemia, where the aristocracy was predominantly German speaking. It also included the Italian speaking provinces of Lombardy and Venetia. In Hungary, half of the population spoke Magyar, while the other half spoke a variety of dialects. In Galicia, the aristocracy spoke Polish. Besides these three dominant groups, there also lived mass peasantry groups, Bohemians and Slovaks to the north, Slovenes in Carnolia, Croats to the south, and Romans to the east of Transylvania. Such differences did not easily promote a sense of political unity. The only bond binding these different groups was their allegiance to the emperor. Socially and politically, a landed aristocracy was the dominant class in the continent. This class had a bondage because of their class apart feelings across the regions. They owned estates in villages as well as towns. They were bound together by the ties of marriage. They spoke French for the purposes of diplomacy, and because of their high class, the majority of the population was peasantry. They were either small owners of the lands, or they were tenants of the land. Industrialization began in England in the second half of the 18th century, but in France, parts of the German states, it occurred only during the 19th century. In its wake, new social groups came into being. A working class population and middle classes made up of industrialists, businessmen, and professionals. It was among educated and liberal middle classes that the idea of the national unity gained popularity. What did the liberal nationalism stand for? Idea of national unity in the 19th century Europe were closely allied to the ideology of liberalism. The term liberalism derives from the Latin root liber, meaning free. From the new middle classes, liberalism stood for the freedom for the individual and equality of all before the law. Politically, it emphasized the concept of government by concept. Since the French Revolution, liberalism had stood for the end of autocracy and clerical privileges, a constitution, and representative government through parliament. 19th century liberals also stressed the inviolability of private property. Yet, equality before law did not necessarily stand for the universal suffrage. Remember, the revolutionary France, the right to vote and the right to get elected was first given to the property owning men. Under the Jacobins, there was a short period when people enjoyed universal suffrage, and then came the Napoleonic Code, and again the liberty, the freedom was curtailed, and the universal suffrage was not allowed. The economic sphere, liberalism meant freedom from the state restrictions, and it was also freedom of the markets. Napoleon's administrative measures had created out of countless small principalities a confederation of 39 states. Each of these possessed its own currency and weights and measures. A merchant traveling in 1833 from Habsburg to Nuremberg to sell his goods would have had to pass through 11 custom barriers and pay a custom duty of about 5% at each one of them. Duties were often levied according to the weight or measurement of the goods, as each region had its own weights and measures, time-consuming calculations. The measure of cloth, for example, was the elli, which in each region stood for a different length. An elli of textile material bought in Frankfurt would get you 54.7 centimeter of cloth. In Mainz, 55.1 centimeter. In Nuremberg, 65.6 centimeter, and in Freiburg, 53.5 centimeter. In 1834, a custom union or Zollverein was formed at the initiative of Prussia and then joined by most of the German states. The union abolished tariff barriers and reduced the number of currencies just to two. And with the expansion of the railway network, the economic sphere started widening, and this gave a greater chance to the newly found nationalism. So, up to 1815, we see a different era, but after 1815, again there is an era, a new conservatism, that we will see in the next video. Thanks for joining.